Hi guys, EBPMAN with Tablets for Me, and today we're going to do an unboxing review of the LG G3. So let's take a look and see what's actually inside the box, what's included with the G3. I'll put the cover on the side, open up the box, put that also to the side. Here we have our G3 phone. We have inside, it looks like an instruction guide or a quick start guide. Some safety information, a 3000 milliamp hour battery for your G3, a charging brick, and what we have here is a micro USB charging cord for the G3. So that's all that's in the box. Let's go ahead and start it up in the next video. Alright, so the next step what we're going to do is actually install the battery. This phone already has an installed SIM, but we'll go over some of the componentry that you'll see in the back of the phone, get it started, and see what you can expect when you start your G3. So let's look at the back for a second, because in order to get started our video, we'll have to first go through and insert the battery. So to insert the battery, you'll notice that there's a groove right here, and this is where you're going to stick your fingernail and then just pull back. There is no slot on this side of the actual phone, so you won't be able to do it there. So all you do is you'll put your fingernail in there, you don't have to go really deep, and then you'll pull back like this and it'll just lift off. Now, once you lift it off, a couple things that we'll highlight here. First of all, you'll notice that we do have a micro SD card here slot that plays dual purpose. One for your SIM, for your internet, for your actual cell phone carrier, and this other slot right here is where you, on top of it, is where you would put your micro SD. The other thing that we'll highlight is that this case for this G3 happens to, or the back cover happens to be a case that does support not the QI standard for wireless charging, but one of the other standards that's also being implemented at stores like Starbucks as you go to drink coffee. And you can see that because of the coil that you see here. See this coil that you see here? It goes all the way up, and these contacts make contact with this area right here, which connects to where your battery goes. So this is going to give you wireless charging capability if you do have a wireless charger. Again, word is that the model or the style of wireless charging implemented by At&t is not the QI standard which is out there. So all I've done now is I've inserted my battery here. It's a 3000 milliamp hour battery, which is pretty large and great for, especially for this size phone. And what we'll do next is we'll start up the phone and see the actual boot up process. Now we'll turn on the G3, and what you'll notice, especially if you come from a Samsung line, a Motorola line, or a Nexus line, is that there are no buttons on the sides, and that's one thing that makes the LG G series stand out. All of the actual volume controls are on the back of the actual phone, and then the power button is also in the back. Some people don't really like that feature. Some people really do. They think it's more natural as you're holding the phone like this. But again, there's no power button or volume button on the side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and press and hold the back button until we start up the phone. Okay. So we have our LG logo, and powered by Android, which is pretty common now for a lot of phones. Especially the newer ones are starting to use that, that powered by Android logo. We have our At&t startup. This is going pretty fast. And now we're ready to go through the setup process. So again, this is a process with At&t. If you want to go ahead and sync your contacts, I'm going to say no, not now. I'm just going to hit exit. I'm not going to use that ready to go feature. Here we're being asked if we want to sign into the Google location. I'm going to say yes to both. You have some personalization, and we're going to go into these features a little bit later on, but you have the ability to lock your phone by using knock codes as well as swipe and other types of locking capabilities. We're going to go over that later. And the other thing that you could do too is you can actually modify these home buttons that appear on the bottom. Again, this is your back button, your home button, and then that's your like your multitasking button. So what we're going to do is we're going to leave these as they are, and we'll go back to this a little bit later. So I'm just going to hit next. Okay, that's pretty much it. One of the things that I noticed in comparison to some of the other phones that we've reviewed with the LG compared to, let's say, like for example, Samsung, is that if you notice, it didn't take me through any kind of Google enrollment process. It just straight, once I set it up, it didn't even ask me if I wanted to set up my Gmail account. None of that took place. Just a couple steps, and now we're ready to use the phone. So this was my unpacking or unboxing and just a brief setup process of what it takes to set up the G3 for initial use, and you can see that there's not a lot to it. The next video, what we'll do is just go over some of the hardware specs and then go through a lot of the little tips and tricks and things that you should know when using your LG G3.